Hello, ladies. I hope you're doing good in the last day of the year. We are going to do, it's something that I used to do long time ago. I haven't done some in a while. Maybe I should. And I actually didn't think of pulling up some photo, but I am trying to do that right now. And that is, if you're not familiar to what kanji means, there are characters that originate in Chinese writing. They are what's called a logograph, that were also adopted by the Japanese people. The thing is that one of those symbols can be inscribed on something just to signify. I mean, how can I say it? It's just the symbol of something that you wish for in your life. And there we go, European or other parts of the world besides the US, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. In the US is not 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. The rest of the world it is. Then I'm trying to find my those photos, if I still have any left. Because they were I had posted them at one point. Let's see, one more try. One more try. If I do not find them, that is it. Oh well, I do not find them, and I'm completely sold out of them, so I don't have a specific one to show you. But what we are going to start with, and we are going to do the symbol for happiness. So if your new year is not here yet, you do have time to make one for yourself. Dudziet. I hope I pronounced well, because there's no diacritics. Elaine, thank you for making it. Hi Darla, hi Carlene, hi Chris, hi Lynn, and hi Janine. So I'm going to take a little bit of white pearl. This is Primo, obviously. And when I say a little bit, because my cutter that I forgot to grab, sorry, I am doing no, because we write 3112, Elaine. I am doing the last housekeeping that I can, so I can enter the new year with a clean house. So I'm going to use this. So for this, I'm going to kind of try to not use more. I guess this is the reason why I always have so much clay, because I'm not wasting clay. So I'm going to grab this, and I always made them round. For me it kind of looked better, right? And I'm going to grab and put little pieces to create skinner blend. So here I have some yellow. I'm not gonna use green. It doesn't fit in the whole thing that I have in my mind, okay? So I already have a little bit of blue here. And the other thing I need, okay, not so much. This is already a blue made with ultramarine and oh yeah, you're right. Right, it's for only for the US. I'm completely sorry. I'm kind of getting back from trying to figure out what I still need to do, which is on my mind, obviously. And then I'm going to grab not the cadmium, but a little bit of pomegranate. It gives a bit more pizzazz. Now be very careful with the red, you don't want a lot. Red is very, very, very strong, right? So we don't want a lot of it. And going to hurry it up. Of course, you can choose whatever other colors you want. You can use just 2, you can use just 1 color. Hi, Lianka. So, let me get this through the machine. And I am obviously going to roll it to hurry it up. And I'm going to go a little bit thicker so I can fan it a little. But yeah, that's the reason why I'm wearing gloves, because my manicure is completely messed up from all the cleaning. And there was no reason for me to stop and do a fresh manicure and then not do anything for half an hour to make sure I don't mess it up, so that I can mess it up afterwards. I decided though, as for the last few years, and last couple of years, no, last 3 years, after Whisper died, I haven't been staying awake for the new year. It's not like when I was all young and all out for a party. It would have been a disaster if I wasn't at a party for the new year. Total disaster. Oh, good. See how red the red still is? Should have put even less. Still going to be pretty, I promise you. And you don't need it to be perfectly mixed, just that you don't want streaks of pure color to still be there. So what are the things for the new year that you have as a tradition in your house, in your family? Because I know a lot of people eat chickpeas, black chickpeas, right? We have, in Romania, you're supposed to have on the table at midnight money, wine, bread, and honey or sugar, so that you'd have, you know, wealth and happiness and sweetness and food and all that kind of stuff for the whole year to come. And we have a very interesting thing, like on Mondays, on the first, because Monday is the first day of the week in Europe, as well as the first day of the month, and definitely the first day of the year. You do not take garbage out, lend someone money or pay back, give money or give anything out of the house. No hair trimming, no fingernail trimming, no nothing, so that you wouldn't incur any kind of loss in the year, week, month, year to come. Okay, thought I messed this up. Okay, I'm going to go a little bit left and right and left and right so that I can get a little bit more seepage of color. This red that's in the middle, that is still pretty strong. I might actually, let me see how this goes, or I might actually add a little thread of white. So that is what I'm going to do. I'm going to add a thread of white here. It's a pinch still too dark, this red for me, and I want pastel colors. Yeah, I have Romania has as popular foods not popular, traditional foods. There's the sour cabbage, and I'm not saying sauerkraut because most Eastern Europe, the pickled cabbage is not like the sauerkraut. The sauerkraut, like the one that you find in Germany, is pickled in vinegar, while the cabbage in Eastern Europe is pickled in brine. And traditionally, it is pickled in big barrels of oak. And you also add, so first, let me see. You get the whole head of cabbage, and then you kind of scoop out the stem so that you have like a cone. And you fill that cone with salt, and you let the cabbages sit like this overnight, and all that. In the morning, you'll find liquid. And then they are put in the barrel or big drums, modern time, big plastic drums. It's just that they have to have a big opening so you can handle a whole head of cabbage. And they are first set in there, and then the whole container is filled with a brine that was boiled well, and then let cool. And also in between the cabbages, they would be put the flowerets, dried flowerets of dill weed, and corn cobs with the corn grain still on, and golden delicious apples for the color, you know, because when you take the cabbage out, it would be nice and yellowish. And that is what is used for the cabbage rolls. And hold on, give me just a second. Actually have on an old channel of mine, maybe I did show it before. The how to make them. Oh no, let me get you the link if you ever are interested. It's a very complicated process though. And let me say hi to the people who came after my last saying hi. Hi Silver. Hi Colleen. Okay, now I'm going to start kind of sort of fanning, but in a more random kind of way. So because I want a play on the whole mica shift thing. get it all rounded up. And then I'm going to cut it in half. So yeah, the cabbage rolls are a traditional dish for practically any kind of festive thing. And that is just a second, I need a wax paper. I have no idea what I did with the scissors here. I mean, it's for weddings, it's for funerals, it's for baptisms, it's for you name it. Pretty much any kind of, I don't want this to be, and you don't want to get it through the machine because you don't want to mess up the mica sheet. So as you can see, the whole thing kind of sort of looks like a sunrise, right? You want to flatten it really nice. Even more up. All right. So obviously it is for the new year too. And the other thing that is also traditional is a type of nut bread. Okay, let me get up the image that we are going to make and add it right here. Okay, and we want to move it here. Alrighty, so this is the symbol for happiness, and what I'm going to use for it is you want something that would kind of come out at you, and obviously because we used, I mean, you can use black obviously if you want to, but I would not recommend black. It's a little bit harsh, you know. But if you want to go with the same, okay, wrong. You can do white pearl, but I would rather go with a gold or a copper or a bronze. And of course I grabbed the wrong one again. I switched these two a while ago and I'm still not used to them being like that. I know I have a nice gold here somewhere. Just a matter of finding it. I know. Why didn't you do this all before you started? Well, because I've been trying to do too many things at once. And I don't want to get to you know, that spot where there's so much stuff to be done that you get overwhelmed and you all feel like just sitting down and letting the world go burn. I have a nice bronze here. And I have a little bit of tiny bit of conditioning, because we need to do a string out of it, right? In a string. So first a bead, and this you can leave it as is, or you can make a, after you bake it, obviously you can make a frame around it. Okay, I'm still on the yeah, it's quite intensive, and especially because in Romania there's talking about cabbage rolls, because I read what Arla said. Depending on the region of Romania you are, the size of those bad boys differs. Like in Transylvania, they are big. I mean, they are like half a leaf, a cabbage big. On the western side, the Wallachia, they are actually the biggest of all. Like, you use one leaf per roll, and the joke is that you need sewing thread to roll them together to keep them from unrolling. And then in Moldova and what used to be Bessarabia and is now the Republic of Moldova, was, you know, the Yalta Conference was taken from Romania and given to the USSR. And the northern areas of Moldova is in the Romanian province, not the Republic of Moldova. Because the Romanian, ex-Romanian province of Moldova was kind of cut in half, and the east went to the USSR. But that's where my paternal grandma and grandpa were from, and they were in charge of preparing all the traditional stuff in our house. So those are supposed to be so small that you could actually grab 2 or 3 in a bite. And not only that, but they are supposed to be so soft and tender that you don't even need to chew on them, just putting your tongue against your rooftop of your mouth should squish them and make them. Anyway, so depending on how big you want to make them, it can be more or less laborious. So again, we need a very, very, very thin string of this. Very, very. And then I usually start with the biggest of the lines, and I'm going to need my the Oster. I have an Oster convection oven that's like 7 or 8 years old that I'm using for my clay, and it's excellent. I mean, it still works fine with no issues, no problems whatsoever. So generally speaking, I'm going to want my, let me put some pointers here and have this here. So I want the top of my kanji to be here and the bottom here. Now if you notice, if you look at the figure and you notice, it's kind of like divided in three. So I'm going to kind of sort of, actually this should be a little bit higher. So here. And then I want it to be about this wide. So I'm going to cut my first, and again you need to make it very very thin because it's going to get squished. So obviously another way you can do it, of course, you can do a very thin sheet and just cut very thin lines, but I found that it's better to do the strings because they get squished, and even if the naked eye sees them perfectly even, at a magnified level they are not that even, so they would kind of distort slightly differently, so it would give the impression of paintbrush, right? All right, so I'm going to grab the first one. I didn't do a good job. It needs to be wider. And then we have a second one that's a little bit less long than the first one, and we place it here. Then there will be one that goes up, that's a little bit too long. And one that goes down. But first we have one that is kind of sort of in the middle. That is the shorter of them all. And then too long. Oh, come on. Get in here. Just doesn't wanna. Rolled it so much that I made it longer. And then a second one. And I'm going to put a tiny one here, as I don't really want them crisscrossing because that part will be very wide. And then the two little ones on top. Alrighty, so now I got this done, and it needs more burnishing. First I'm pressing them with my finger, and then I'm going to use the acrylic block. And as I said, if you so wish, you can do it with black or even with graphite. I hope you don't have RSV. I sure hope so. And let's grab it and put it on a baking tile. And give it one more burnishing. Then we can cut it and make sure that your thing is pretty much in the middle. And to see the whole prettiness of it, of course, I'm going to resin it. Yeah, one of my gaming friends this morning was like, God, I hope that this year I don't get any more things that don't kill me but make me stronger. Because I'm kind of tired of getting stronger. I was like, amen to that. And of course, you don't have to resin it. You can. My pendants weren't resin; they were sanded and buffed. But if I resin it, you can see exactly how it would look sanded and buffed. Right? Okay. I'm so tired of colds and RSV and all that kind of stuff. After I had a very bad end of November, and actually November and then beginning of December. I'm telling you, when I had that big fever, it was scary. It was really scary. At least hopefully, or unknowingly, I had RSV, not COVID, because I never got a new COVID test, and nobody knows if the first COVID tests would. Rhinosinctial virus that has been on the rise in the US. Respiratory syncytial virus infection. It's let me link to you. There you go. And apparently this year it's been really high, especially before. It was mostly in children, but it's been attacking the older adults really bad. And unfortunately for me, when I went to get my COVID plus flu shot, They did have the RSV, but when they faxed to the insurance didn't answer quick enough. They said I could wait a little bit longer, but I couldn't because I was with somebody who was driving me, and I didn't want to impose too much. So, because I was going to get the RSV shot as well, and I didn't get it, and this is pretty much apparently what I got. So, it's nasty. It's kind of like a super bad. It's like a cold that is bad as the flu minus the, you know how the flu can sometimes give you bone and joint pain? Yeah, minus the joint and bone pain. But it's high fever, lots of congestion, and I don't know, for me it was like I was sweating all the time. I think for like 7 days my hair was never dry. It was always wet. And so you do get dehydrated a lot. I remember the highest my temperature went was 104.2. I was actually watching it because I said if it goes higher than that, I am calling an ambulance. Unfortunately, it didn't. Well, that's a good thing now, Elaine. Huh? That's a really good thing. Okay, that thing is almost done, I hope. So you can see how this pretty thing looks like when it's fully... I mean, it looks beautiful when it is sanded and buffed, but as you know, the resin can give you almost the exact look of how something looks like when it's sanded and buffed. I do have, come on, get ready already. I did put it in for another curing. Come on, don't drop. Oops. Okay, and there we go. You can see it gives beautiful pearly effects. So this is the symbol of happiness, and again, you have time. You can do it just with plain white pearl, as long as you do that thin sheet and then do the random fanning thing and the type of getting it together and then cutting and using the middle, what was inside. So you'll get all these pretty effects. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed it, and you will try to make yourself one really quick before the new year comes, so you'll have it for the new year. And of course you can make yourself several, you know, with the combinations of color for the season. And these actually, I can tell you from my experience, they sell really good. Really good. I used to have them when I was still doing venues. I used to do happiness, love, protection. Hold on, there was one more that was selling really good. Oh God, what was it? Oh, health. Duh. So it's easy to find. You just if you just Google, because for example, what I can show you here, if you look for kanji happiness symbol, there will be some that would be more complicated and some that would be a little bit more simple. And you just change here kanji love symbol, and it's a little bit more complicated than the happiness, but it's still doable. You just look for one that would be a little less complicated, or it was prosperity, not wealth. There you go. A prosperity symbol, it's not very difficult. And the health. But again, look for one that is a little bit easier to make. And you can look for any. And this would be water. You can look for all kinds of symbols that you want, so it's not very difficult to make. Okay, so I hope you have a wonderful New Year's when it's midnight, and you don't have too many fireworks to scare your pets, and that you have a fabulous New Year's Day that will show how your new year will be. And let's hope we have less issues, because it's like every year is getting worse and worse and worse and worse. I don't know. Life was so, even if I lived under communism, life was so simple when I was 20, you know. I'm not saying a child, but when I was 20. Anyway. And there were so much less people in the world. I don't know how we went in half a century. The world population almost quadrupled. Let me see. When I was born, and the world population was 3 billion. Yeah, no, not gonna, tripled. Almost, 2.5. Anyway, it's a lot. It's a lot. Oh my God, gunshots, that's horrible. Anyway, have a wonderful, wonderful new year, and I hope to see you the next year with new videos. I'm trying, and I'm slowly getting there, but it's, it's not like I'm getting any younger. And as I said, I kind of lost my warmth when Whisper died, and I'm slowly, it's not that I'm depressed. I'm not depressed at all. But it's like my whole creativity and nurturing. And not only that, but remember that I had the thing with Finnegan almost dying, and then Whisper dying, and then like it never came back. Hopefully it will come back in 2024, because it is number 8 year. So, and numerology, I know it's all kinds of flimsy, snowflakey stuff, but the 8 is a symbol of balance and success. So it is said that if you are in an 8 situation, in a year of the 8, or in a month of the 8, or something like that, or in a house that's an 8, or in a relationship that's an 8, you should give back for every blessing that you receive. So that way, because 8 is all about balance, that way if you keep your balance, everything will go good for you. So thank you so much. Have a happy new year, and This is so old and so pathetic. See you all in a year. Love you all. Thank you. Bye.